What on earth is this? I bought this phone, which claimed to be a Google Pixel 6a with a good screen that boot loops on the Google logo for about $60 US. What I initially thought was a fake Google Pixel because of its strange camera design that looked nothing like any Google Pixel I've ever seen before, turned out to be something better than I expected. So what did I really get? Let's unbox it and find out. It came packaged in a box that looks like it was about to fall apart at any moment, with the phone rattling around inside. The phone arrived as pictured online with a sticker on the front describing the phone as having had a system crash. Plugging the phone in, it draws an abnormal amount of current from the charger, peaking at 335 milliamps before dropping to zero, repeating this indefinitely. The phone does not power on at all, let alone boot loop as advertised. But if I've learned anything about repairing other Google Pixels, it's that they're fussy about chargers. So I'll attempt to power it on again, this time using an official Google charger. But the Google charger refuses to power on my current meter. Plugged directly into the Pixel, we can see the official charger allows the phone to boot up enough to display the Google logo, but reboots every few seconds. Whilst displaying the boot screen, I unplugged the phone to discover it would shut off immediately, which would indicate battery failure. What I initially thought was only a scratch on the back panel is actually a crack. The phone has bulged at this very point and is emitting a foul odour. It's in an odd location to be an expanded battery, and it's rock solid. We won't know what's going on until we've opened the phone. When I placed the order for this phone, I thought I'd be making a video on a Google Pixel clone. But now I'm holding the phone, I can tell you it's a real Pixel, but it's not a 6a. Someone has just stuck a Google Pixel 6 camera lens protector atop this Google Pixel 7a. It's over to the heat plate for this Pixel 7a for a few minutes before we can begin prying open the back. This can be done using a suction cup and a plastic pick, working it around the perimeter of the phone. One great thing about this model is that it opens from both sides, meaning I can leave the screen in place while we access the rest of the internals, preventing the risk of damaging it. Inside, we can confirm the bulge is coming from the bottom right side of the battery. To get a better look, I'll need to remove the wireless charging coil assembly, which involves carefully unadhering the LED flash and removing several Torx screws. I've seen many batteries expand, even some that have gone up in smoke, but nothing like this one. It's had a failure in the bottom right corner. The affected area is as solid as concrete, which suggests to me that the internals have melted and set hard. Needless to say, this phone didn't have a software issue. I ordered a new battery and even a back panel, which was only an extra $7, so it seemed like a no-brainer. After all, just to order the replacement adhesive was almost as much. I'll get the Pixel back over to the heat plate to begin removing the battery. The added heat will aid its removal. While this battery hasn't gone full Note 7, it looks as though it wasn't far off. To the best of my knowledge, this is a genuine Google battery. If I had to guess with my limited knowledge of battery chemistry, I'd say it's likely that the layers of the cell have shorted out in the corner, maybe due to a manufacturing problem. Thankfully, the damage that occurred happened without any thermal runaway. Before replacing the battery, now is a better time than ever to remove the old adhesive. If you've ever come across that foam-like adhesive, you'll know the battle I'm facing here. It doesn't easily peel off, so I have to scrape at it with a sturdy tool. You'll need to be careful not to slip and damage any surrounding components, hence why I'm doing this while we've already got the battery out. The battery I have ordered claims to be a good quality replacement, but we won't really know that until the phone's been used for several months. I'm always wary of stickers applied to batteries. I've made a whole video in relation to fake batteries a few years back explaining the tricks used. Removing this one reveals remnants of where the old battery adhesive was applied and even a faint recycling logo that's been removed. I'd say this is a used battery. I'm not too phased in this case as I just want to see if I can get the phone working. But this battery could be a used and rebranded original. so let's hope it still holds a good charge. I will transfer the little pull tab from the old battery to the new one before we get the battery reinstalled. Connecting it into place, its bracket can be reattached before we proceed in installing the wireless charging coil and its appropriate screws. I'll temporarily sit the back panel over the phone to avoid damaging the cameras while we test out this device. Plugging it in this time, it boots past the Google logo and to a black screen that says it's waiting for rescue commands. Does this phone really have software issues too? I wasn't expecting that, having seen the damaged battery. Eventually it timed out and booted into recovery mode. Unsure if I would need to reflash Android onto the phone, I thought I could at least try the built-in factory reset option. It came up with a few errors, so I wasn't hopeful, but I rebooted the phone anyway. To my surprise, it booted up without issue. That was an easy fix to something I thought might have turned into its own drama. The phone completed setup and is now ready to be tested with iTest to ensure nothing else is at fault before we adhere the back panel into place. You can easily test hardware functions, verify voice over LTE, and hardware specifications of Android devices using my app iTest, available for both Android and iOS. With no issues found, it's time we seal this phone up by first adhering the LED flash back into place. I can now proceed by removing the adhesive from the back panel before it's attached onto the Pixel 7a. Now all that's left to do is remove the plastic protective film from the back panel. And we're done. So this is it. For under $75 US, we have a fully working Google Pixel 7a. What I initially thought was a fake knockoff Pixel 6a turned out to be something much better. Running Android 15, this Pixel has a feature I've not seen before, a repair mode. What it does, you ask? Well, it allows for a technician to be able to test the phone without accessing your personal files. After ensuring your phone is locked with a PIN, the phone reboots into a guest-like environment with no passcode. All changes will be removed upon exiting this mode, which can be done by entering the phone's passcode. All in all, I think this repair proved worthwhile. Not only did we end up with a cheap Pixel 7, but we saved it from going to e-waste. And on that note, this has been a Hugh Jeffries video. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing and check out the phone restoration playlist for more videos just like this one. And if you're looking for any used devices, be sure to check out my online store, link for which is down in the description. That's all for this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.